Skinnider. I'm a fourth year student, well, just completed my fourth year here at Jordanhill. I'm going to be Glasgow City Council Susan, and we're waiting on our schools at the moment. So my major project that we had to do for our fourth year was in drama, and I've kind of had a bit of a focus in drama, and I've tried to implement it as much as I can in all my placements really. So this is a kind of the accumulation of things that I've learned and kind of worked on through my few years here. One of the most important points I've really learned about drama is it's always got to involve a story. Lots of things that I've read about in books and things like that, they've involved a story of some sort, so that the children have really got to kind of use them to kind of explore the world around them. So for my last placement, when I had primary one, we had a story about a magical toy shop, and that every night the magical toy shop, the toys would come to life, and through the stories that we would hear about the toys, they would explore feelings, because that was the children's topic for their health and well-being, look at feelings and emotions. So for example, we had the story of the sad toy because his best friend in the toy shop was bought, so the toy was no longer in the shop. So each week we would look in, the children had to resolve things that happened in the story by helping the characters through drama, and this was really effective at getting the children to kind of then understand kind of how they can apply things into their real life, but through a story it's all, kind of distance from them. So that was the magical toy shop that we had, and I'm going to show you, these are some of the characters that the children came up with in order to, so that they could participate. We had soldiers, and I think we had a train and monkeys, so the children really had any kind of toy that they wanted. I did try and steer clear of any kind of toys from Toy Story. I really wanted them to try and make up their own one, because I didn't want them thinking that they were taking on a persona from a film, but they really enjoyed that. So they made their wee toys, and then we pretended to kind of walk around like them and things like that, so that they could then, this is the beginning, so they could try and feel comfortable then as we moved on into the lesson and they were speaking to other toys, which I was in the last. At every lesson with the primary ones, I had a drama contract. It doesn't sound as scary as it sounds. It's really, behavioural expectations are usually one of the things that teachers feel quite anxious with when they start drama, because they tend to think that children might lose control and they might get a wee bit too overexcited. With the drama contract, all you're doing is you're having a little chat with the children, talking about things that you'd expect them to do. So for example, if you say stop the drama, that means it's to stop pretending. What other things would we maybe have in our drama agreement? Well, some of my primary one children were more concerned about bumping into other people or bumping into tables, but it was that kind of idea of starting to pretend, and it's just a nice kind of wee agreement with the children you can kind of talk about before you start drama, so the children know what's about to happen. So for example, you've got your agreeing to join in and your expected behaviours. You don't have to display a contract, it can just be a wee chat that you have with the children before you start the lesson. If you tend to write it down, it means that nothing else can be added to it, and it might be that as you progress with your class and you do lots more drama, they may want to add more things that they've been learning about, or maybe another rule or something like that they want to add into it. It's also really important that you let the children make up their own drama contract, because then it gives them the kind of power of, they kind of own it. We've all done these things before where the children make up their own rules for the classroom. Similar idea really, but this this means that the children can have ownership of the rules, and it helps them to kind of build up their understanding as well. Learning in and about drama. Learning in drama, this means that the pupils were learning about the feelings in the magical toy shop story. So these are really the two kind of types of learning in drama. The other learning about drama is that the pupils were learning about really how to convey emotions through their body language, through facial expressions and things like that. So this is really the different kind of dramatic conventions as well that you'd be using. So within one drama lesson you may have different dramatic conventions which we use to facilitate learning. Here's just a few of them that I use in some of my lessons. Teacher and role is really when the teacher gets involved in the drama. Quite scary to think that you probably have to put on costumes or something like that and actually act, but it's not really about how good an actor you are, because you don't actually have to be a great actor. All you've got to do is just kind of have an attitude about yourself, all you need is a signifier kind of prop, say like a hat or a tie that suits a character you're going to take on, and talk to the children about, and try and get them, converse with them as a character really from the story that you're researching. This comes with practice, but the children, I promise, will be really responsive because you're joining in. It's almost like you're playing with them, and they'll get really excited. And even with challenging classes I've had before, they're always dead silent and they're really eager to participate when you see that the teachers are taking part in as well. There's other conventions that I've got up there as well. I'm not going to explain all of them. Really what I hope to do today is to kind of get you inspired to kind of go and read about drama and how to maybe implement it yourself. But I would say teacher role is a great place to start with because it can be used primary, secondary, just a really great way for you to implement it in any lesson. It wouldn't need to be in a whole drama lesson, you can use it with English or science as well. So it's a great way to kind of just get a wee bit of drama in your lessons. What I've learned really from the last lesson as well, not all conventions will work first time. I had an absolute nightmare of a lesson when I had primary ones try and act and do forum theatre where they come in and act to be seen, and it did not work at all. I had the children standing and laughing at me because they didn't really know what to do. But what this really taught me is that you've got to really kind of persevere and give children plenty of time to practice, because they won't get it the first time maybe because it's all new to them. But if you keep going and talking about it with them and keep going over your drama contract and the rules, they hopefully should get a lot of practice and they should get it in the end. Drama games were a great way to start my drama lessons with, especially my last class, my primary 1 class that I had. They loved playing games at the beginning. It also gave some of the shy children, the younger ones, a chance to kind of prepare to pretend if they were a wee bit anxious about joining in. The children were able to kind of warm up, and it also meant that they weren't just, they kind of get ready for drama as well. With the games, you don't have to just play them once and then that's that game played and then move on to another game the next lesson. You can actually keep the children kind of going and start to do the games more often and let them practice. So I think for one of the games that I played with my friend 1, it was a magic box where they could take something out of the box and everyone else had to guess what it might be. The children loved playing this game over and over again because they had so many ideas about what could be in this magic box that they could get their friends to guess. It also gave a chance for the children who were a wee bit shy each week to kind of watch their friends, and then by near the end they were actually eager to kind of join in themselves. This website was a great wee website for getting some drama games. Some of them are taken from a book called 101 Drama Games and Activities. They had games on about developing confidence. They had games that were suited to different things if you wanted team working, things like that as well. So I would really recommend that website. But there's hundreds of websites as well that will give you drama games. You don't have to scribble this website down right away. I'm going to put this slide in my blog on the CD Strathclyde website, so you can get it there as well. So that's really the kind of things that I've learned about drama over my few years. If you need anything else about the slides, just tweet me at Morven Skinnider, and I'll be putting the slides on my blog as well. And that's me.